guys. Happy second half of year 2022. It's a lot's been going on, right, Felipe? By the way, guys, this is Felipe, my fiance, right? My business partner, my life partner. And I finally convinced him to hop on my YouTube channel this time, where we're going to talk about something a little bit out of the norm. Am I awake or am I dreaming? So you guys have probably been noticing all the craziness going on in the media regarding the economy, regarding a potential recession, like what the heck is going to happen? Well, first of all, none of us know, right? We don't have a crystal ball, but we definitely have an idea, can make, calculated guesses as to what's to come, right? Mm-hmm. Felipe definitely has his opinion about this. And I wanted to invite him on to speak on this because, guys, my goal has always been to empower families on how to achieve financial freedom through real estate. But with what's going on, let's be honest, finding a real estate deal where the numbers make sense is kind of like finding a unicorn. So here's an opportunity to diversify and look at other avenues. So Felipe, if you want to share a little bit about some of your favorite strategies that may be in the future we'll potentially talk about. So drop a note, guys, in the comments if you have any questions, by the way.
So as for strategies, the best I can say, because in reality, there's not too many safe havens in the case of, potential crisis or who knows, depression. Mm-hmm. I personally believe that as of now, cash is king because of rising interest rates. In my opinion, I would not be looking to purchase a home right now. Mm-hmm. Unless you're looking to purchase a home that's going to be personally yours for the rest of your life and not an investment. Reason being is that interest rates are going up. So in this case, you have the Federal Reserve against you. So you're going against the tide, where on the other hand, 2020, you had the Federal Reserve on your side. Why? Because they were dropping interest rates. And that's not an entity you want to go against, because they basically control the global economy by simple lever of raising and lowering interest rates, along with either quantitative easing or quantitative tightening, which is what they're doing now. So safe havens would just basically be take a conservative approach. I'm personally speculating that crude oil, although the narrative right now is inflation, to a certain extent because of the Russian war. War is an inflationary scenario. However, I feel that and then again, I'm speculating because in reality, I can't predict the future. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that I can see, what's going to happen, a month from now. I just can't do that. I use certain indicators to potentially, give me the probabilities of that what I believe might potentially occur. Just as you might have your opinion and you might look for certain data to either prove you right or prove you wrong. That's what I like to do. So I'm speculating that crude oil is going to collapse. I mean, again, it's convenient for the politics right now. Specifically, the current administration, their ratings are dramatically dropping because of the whole inflation narrative. A lot of people are upset that they're paying more, and reasonably so. They're upset that they're paying more at the pump, etc. However, I feel like the narrative is false, in my opinion. In a certain way, it's overblown, because if we do enter a recession, that's going to destroy the demand for oil. And one of the indicators that I'm personally following is global car sales. Last night, actually, around 1 a.m. Pacific time, UK year-for-year car sales were announced, and they were horrible. They were negative 24%. The worst they've been since June 1996. And in 2008, one of the indicators they gave you the potential high probability that something negative was going to occur was a drop in global car sales, because what is the first thing people were gonna, stop purchasing when times get tough. They can't stop purchasing food. They can't stop purchasing oil, commodities like that, because they need them, for daily life, just survival, period. But the moment car sales dropped, and this is a combination of like a supply chain issue that has been going on since September of 2021. So it's basically this consistent bad luck that has been going on, along with, all the political issues, geopolitical problems. So it's basically bad luck after bad luck. And now you have a cycle where the Federal Reserve is rising rates, which they have not done since, 2007. And we all know what happened then, because unfortunately the raising of rates puts a lot of pressure in the system. The United States currently has, I don't know how many trillions in debt. And just, logically thinking, if they're raising rates, how is that going to affect that side of things? And the global economy basically runs on the US dollar, and they have US dollar dominated debt, which again, rising interest rates puts pressure on that and can potentially cause some kind of black swan event in the system, where who knows where that might potentially come from. That's anyone's guess.
Right. And what Felipe means by a black swan, if you can touch on that.
Black swan would be basically unpredictable event that occurs that causes, in financial terms, that might cause some kind of crisis. For example, in 2008, the black swan was the Lehman Brothers filing for bankruptcy. And we all know that there was an issue in the subprime mortgage loans, that they were just basically handing out loans to anyone.
Yeah. So like a catalyst. It's like a catalyst of what's to come, right?
Right, yeah. So an unpredictable event that for the most part comes out of nowhere, and everyone's typically blindsided by it. For example, COVID in 2020 was the black swan event. It came out of nowhere. It was unpredictable. No one expected the dramatic damage that was going to do to the economy, and it practically caused the global economy to shut down. And now talking about that, it brings me to China. So China, every time there's a spike in COVID, they lock down whatever city or whatever province where COVID is spiking. And this is putting a massive strain on the global economy. Japan, US GDP has been dropping. We've had the first negative gross domestic product in a very long time, which came in for June. I think it was like negative 1.6%. So things and indicators are leading into, again, I just go with probabilities, that there's a potential that, there's not going to be sunny days ahead. It's potentially going to be a storm. So,
right.
Just my opinion, my 2 cents. Again, I can't predict anything. I just, go with the probabilities. And again, one thing that I've learned is that the past is not necessarily the future, but the past can potentially give you clues on what might potentially occur in the future.
Right. Yeah. And so you guys know us as, real estate professionals, which has been our, you could say, gateway to exploring investments and financial freedom, right? And we just want to continue being a resource to you guys educationally of what might be other strategies that maybe you guys didn't know about. So Felipe's been diving deep into options, futures, what else? Stocks, obviously.
Yeah, right, because it's a very volatile market. So a volatile market creates opportunity if you're a trader. If you're a long-term investor, which personally I prefer to be a long-term investor, is less stressful.
Yeah, sleep at night maybe.
Yeah. So it's very difficult right now. Yeah, of course. I believe, even today at this point, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, prices are going to be, equities are going to be higher than they are today. But unless you have a 20, 30, 40 year time horizon, I would be careful with long-term investments, and I would take a conservative approach. I won't make any recommendations because again, it's very difficult to say. However, I do see that cash is king right now because interest rates are going up. Interest rates rising creates a strong dollar, and it's in the political agenda, and it's in the Federal Reserve's agenda to raise rates to tame or bring down inflation, and by doing so, they increase the purchasing power of the U.S. dollar, which is the reserve currency of the world.
And, to that point, guys, again, we're not here to give any advice, generally speaking, but if you have any questions or comments, drop a note in the notes below. You can always get with us. We can schedule some time to meet. Right now, we're stepping into pretty much an investment advisement role. Of course, one-on-one, everyone's needs are different. We would like to share with you guys some other strategies that you may not be familiar with. Of course, you guys know that real estate is still one of my favorite vehicles, especially if you've been following me for a while. You know that I'm a big fan of house hacking and other long-term real estate investing. It's just right now, it's really tough to find a deal where the numbers make sense. I'm not saying you can't find it. It's just super challenging. And there might be other ways that you guys don't know about to have higher returns sooner than later and liquidity, because real estate, if you invest in real estate, you guys know what I mean by liquidity. That's whether or not you can have the flexibility to tap into the wealth, right? Because traditionally when you buy real estate, equity is tied to the asset. The only way to tap into that money is how, Felipe? Selling,
yeah.
Refinancing, but you don't want to refinance now, right? And of course, to do so, you need proper equity to do that. So obviously, real estate's not very liquid. It's still one of my favorite strategies to consider for passive income. So if you guys like this idea of talking more about passive income or maybe entrepreneurship, again, you guys know I love to talk about that kind of thing. Hit that like button, and thanks for checking out this video. You guys may know this. We are actually living in Las Vegas now, if you've been following my channel, because of cost of living, right? We started our journey in Miami, then back to my hometown, Seattle, to get our bearings. And now here we are in Las Vegas, finally in our own place. We did not buy. Why? Because of those high interest rates and high values. All right, guys. So I'm not going to give you a tour just yet because we really don't have any furniture. We are now at our rental home in Las Vegas, a 4-bedroom, 2-bath. Guys, this rent, you could fall out of your chair right now, especially if you're listening from Seattle or Miami. Our rent is $18.99 a month for this 4-bedroom with a 2-car garage. I'm super excited. I love finding deals, not just in real estate. But I was at Goodwill, and check this out. You guys, there is a picture of Seattle, and let's just pretend that's Miami. It's probably Los Angeles, but we'll pretend it's Miami. I'm really excited about that. So is Lucy. Right, Lucy? Look at him. He's like, Lucy. Right. So we are just getting moved in. Again, not much to look at, right? But I'm super excited to start this new journey. We're going to talk more about passive income, financial freedom. So if you like that thing, stay tuned for more videos. And as always, we're looking for more content. Reach out to me if you ever have questions about investing, whether it's about real estate or stocks or whatever. We are happy to be a resource to you guys and empower you with more information. So catch you guys soon in the next video.
You're like a circle that floats around.